To order. I'll say that again. The meeting is called to order. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, public notice of this meeting has been given by the board secretary in the following manner. Posting written notice on the official bulletin board of the Voorhees Township Public Schools Administrative Building on August 17th, 2023. Sending written notice to the Courier Post on August 17th, 2023. Filing written notice with the clerk of Voorhees Township on August 17th, 2023, and posting on the Voorhees Township website on August 17th, 2023. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes, okay, so Mr. Bryce is going to be sworn in now as our newest board member.
Good evening, Mr. Bryce. Could you join us at the podium, please?
Good evening.
Kindly raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Okay.
I, Jason Bryce,
I, Jason Bryce,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and this state
and this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Jason Bryce,
I, Jason Bryce,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
that I possess the qualifications described by law
for the office of member
for the office of member
of a Board of Education,
of a Board of Education.
and I am not disqualified as a voter
And I'm not disqualified as a voter
pursuant to statute,
pursuant to statute,
and I am not disqualified
and I'm not disqualified
due to conviction of a crime or offense
due to conviction of a crime or offense
listed in statute,
listed in statute,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of that office
all the duties of that office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I just want to acknowledge that you have received and will sign the Code of Ethics. Thank you, Mr. Rice. Welcome. Okay, Ms. Haley, the roll, please.
Mr. Bryce?
Here.
Ms. Cadover?
Here.
Mr. Rosen? Mr. Rosner?
Here.
Mrs. Rudder?
Here.
Mrs. Stewart?
Here.
Mrs. Stupler? Here. Ms. Verdi?
Here.
Mrs. Watson?
Here.
Mrs. Watson is attending remotely.
Okay, Dr. Hackett, I'm going to turn it over to you for our special treat tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am so pleased tonight that we are going to get a sneak peek of the musical 13 that will be performed by the Voorhees Middle School Drama Club. I am so excited for this play, and I will be there on March 9th. But tonight, they're just going to give us a sneak peek. So I would like to invite Ms. Keith, her team, and the students to come forward so that we can see just a little sampling of the musical 13. I believe they're going to make a grand entrance. Let's see.
Should we go down?
Yes, and board members would like to go down because they'll be facing this way.
I know. I did myself.
My name is Evan Goldman. I live on 224 West 92nd Street in the heart of Manhattan, and my life just blew up. You want to talk about turning 13? It's a nightmare. First of all, my parents are splitting up, and second of all, can you see this? What is this? What did I do to deserve this? I've got one good thing happening this whole entire year. My bar mitzvah, the best party on the Upper West Side, the Jewish Super Bowl. I don't care how much my parents hate each other. They better pull it together and make sure this party is absolutely, positively, for once, please God, perfect. 12 years old, everything that used to be good as gold starts to crumble and crack. Pressure mounts, once it was a joke, now it really counts and there's no turning back. Life goes wrong, suddenly you're young cause your hair is too long or your skin isn't clean. Roll along, every conversation is another lost cause. Oh no, this is my flaws and I'm just about to turn, God, I'm gonna turn 13. In Indiana. No, seriously. My parents split up, my life falls apart, and now I'm in a town where UFOs go to refuel. Come on, Patrice, there's gotta be some place in this town. Sorry, but your choices are like my life here, limited. Limited to what?
Down the road, there's a Dairy Queen. Up the block, there's a Walmart. There's a place you can accessorize your pets. A school, a tree, a couple of churches, and no matter how hard anybody searches, that's about as thrilling as this stupid village gets. It's the lamest place in the world, but it just got a little bit better. So don't disappear. It's the lamest place in the world, and I'm pretty sure it's not as lame as it was before. Now that you're here, let me introduce you to my friend Archie.
Hey, Evan, do you think you could help us get a date with Kendra?
Look, I feel terrible, really, but I can't get you a date with Kendra. I do one stupid thing and suddenly I'm exiled to a loser table for the rest of my life. I'm on major probation here.
Listen, if there's one person in this school who can help us out, that person is you. There's the cool kids, there's the preps, and there's the skate punks and the jocks, and then there's us.
There's the losers, there's the nerds, and there's the stoners and the goths, and then there's us.
But then there's you. Cause you're the new kid in the school, you're not defined by one specific breed.
So you're free to flip from scene to scene, cause you're the conduit, the medium between, which means you're perfectly positioned to get us what we need.
But how do we get Kendra?
Well, first, we have to get through Lucy, the most popular girl in school.
I can see being Brett's new girlfriend. We could be king and queen of this school. OMG, and you know that he wants me. But since it's Kendra, he asked, and there's nothing to say unless I scheme and I plot till she's out of the way. If it didn't make me hate myself, I bet I could create myself an OPP opportunity. OPP opportunity. OPP opportunity. OPP opportunity. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God, what a good girl I could be if I only had an itty bitty opportunity.
God, boys are so stupid. No wonder they're not girls. Can't you just talk from the heart? Tell her how you really feel. Tell her you thought about what happened. Tell her you haven't.
want to make it right. Tell her you know you aren't perfect. Tell her you waited way too long. Tell her you're sorry. Tell her you mean it. Tell her you just were wrong. Tell her she shouldn't have ignored you or dissed you in front of all the school. Tell her the minute she got out of touch, you felt like such a fool. Tell her that studying together was so nice, you prayed it wouldn't end. Say you forgive her, say you were jealous, ask if she'll be your friend. Tell her that people get things wrong, 'cause people are afraid they won't fit in your world or in your life. But things will work out fine if she will only listen. Tell her that all you've ever wanted was maybe a smile or a glance. Tell her you're sorry. Tell her you mean it. Ask for another chance. Tell her you just want another chance. I've been looking in the back of the book for answers, hoping about what it's time. But I'm not ready to put down my pencil just yet. There are too many answers that I didn't get. I need a little less pressure and a little more time. I'm trying to follow, I'm trying to lead, I'm trying to learn what is true. I'm trying to be what you want and I need, and we all have a little more homework. We all have a little more homework. We all have a little more homework to do. 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 I hope you enjoyed our preview of the VMS Drama Club's 13 the Musical. Come see our show with over 94 more cast members on March 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Tickets are for sale online and at the box office before the show.
Like you're not on stage, you can see
Absolutely.
everybody's face.
Yes, and the harmony was exceptional.
It was.
Yeah.
We have some gifts for the students for coming out tonight. and we'll give them to one of the advisors to give it to them. Thank you so much. You were amazing. I can't wait to March 9th. I'm glad I have my tickets. You're amazing, amazing. Guys want to come up and get your gifts? Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm just going to give everybody a moment to depart if they'd like. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Ms. Keith. Thank you, kids. You did a wonderful job. As a drama parent myself, I know how much work goes into these shows. So I encourage you to come see it. The kids have been working so hard. Next weekend, the 8th, 9th, and 10th. So we will not be going into executive session tonight. Can I get a motion to approve the board minutes from the January 31st, 2024 regular board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
That was me.
Thank you.
Online voting is open. There's 6 yeses and 2 abstentions. The abstentions are Mr. Bryce and Mrs. Stubler. Motion carries.
Thank you. Mrs. Watson, do you have any comments this evening?
No comments.
Okay, information items, fire drills and safety drills as shown on the attachment, as well as suspensions, bus evacuation drills as well. We had one Oprah request this month, and that request has been closed. So now we will have the board secretary report. Ms. Haley?
Thank you. The budget timeline is nearing the end of the day that we're waiting for. Yesterday was the governor's budget address, and tomorrow we receive our state aid figures. So that's what we really need in order to close out our budget. Then the next important date is March 13th, which is our next board meeting. And that's where we present the budget. It's a preliminary budget adoption to approve the budget to submit to the county. The budget has to be submitted to the county by March 20th. The county has until April 19th to review the budget. We post an advertised budget in the paper that has to be done. Well, we're doing it on April 24th. It has to be done at least 4 days before the public hearing on the budget. We are having the public hearing on the budget May 1st, and that's part of our regular board meeting as well, but there'll be a public hearing at that point. The next item is personal relative financial disclosure statement. Those are filled out by administrators in the district and board members, and that is due by April 30th. And then the last item is the preschool building update. Under our buildings and grounds section, there's an item for the 4th addendum to the purchase sale agreement of the building. That releases $10,000 of the deposit that we have there. That's an amendment because we were not releasing that 10,000 at this point, but we changed it to do that. Settlement was supposed to be on the 21st of February, but it's been delayed. We're hoping to go to settlement in April at this point. So that's why we're releasing another $10,000 to the seller. So that way they can cover the cost of keeping the building, situated there. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Haley. Superintendent report, Dr. Hackett.
Okay, thank you again, and good evening again, everyone. I want to begin by inviting Ms. Donnelly to come forward. She's going to give the Student Safety Data System, SSDS, report for the first period of the 23-24 school year. We do give this report around this time every year, and then at the end of the year, we'll give the full year report, and we'll do a 3-year comparison when we give the full year report. So, Ms. Donnelly?
That would help, I guess. I'm not singing, so. As Dr. Hackett said, this is the first reporting. So we report from September 1st through December 31st. And then we report again in August, which will report the second reporting period of January 1 through June 30th. And then in the fall, which would be in October, we would report on the whole year. So at that point in time, we would have a comparison of 3 years total data. So for this evening, I'll be sharing with you just the first reporting period of incidents that had occurred at the school levels and then district-wide. So if you take a look at the slideshow, it's kind of small, so it's a little hard to see. We had a total of 12 incidents that were reported. We didn't have any incidents reported at E.T. Hamilton. Nothing was reported for Crescent. Osage had 1 incident of violence. Signal Hill did not have any for the first reporting period. The Voorhees Middle School had 11 for a total of 12 incidents. That does include HIB investigations that are affirmed to be, not included those that are not affirmed. So alleged HIB does not get reported, but I did include that on the report as well. So overall, we had 3 at the middle school harassment, intimidation, and bullying investigations that were alleged and not affirmed. And then we had 17 other incidents that didn't meet the criteria for the SSDS reporting of violence and vandalism, but other reasons for having to be removed and suspended from school, which did include in-school suspension as well. The next slide, please. We also need to report on our trainings and programs that we do. So in the beginning of the school year, the district-wide, we do our harassment, intimidation, and bullying trainings. So we had 3 trainings. We had 1 program district-wide. Broken down by school, we had 3 at Hamilton, 3 at Crescent, 4 at Osage, 3 at Signal Hill, and 3 at the middle school. They were the trainings for staff. Programs, again, district-wide, we had 1, 4 at Hamilton, 6 at Crescent, 4 at Osage, 4 at Signal Hill, and 8 at the middle school. So that's our total of all of our trainings and programs. We are going to begin another program starting, we're piloting it now, and we're going to start it in September, called Character Strong. And we do hope that that comprehensive guidance program will allow for more consistency in our programs and trainings throughout the district. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Donnelly. I'll continue with my report. I just wanted to once again thank Ms. Keith, her team, the students and their parents for coming tonight and giving us a sneak peek at the musical 13. Just as a reminder, the performances are Friday, March 8th at 7 o'clock, Saturday, March 9th at 1 o'clock, Saturday, March 9th at 7 o'clock, and then Sunday, March 10th at 3 p.m. So the first thing I want to talk about is the high impact tutoring grant. So there was a delay in the start of our grant that we received from the state. We received $230,000 from the state, but there was a delay because the state required us to go for a request for proposal after our grant application was already approved. The plan consisted of using tutors from a company called Hey Tutor during the day, and we were going to use them from April 8th to June 7th. And then we were going to have a summer program, which we will be able to hire 18 of our own teachers and tutors from Hey Tutor. So given the grant's late start, we were going to start in April. Concerns were raised, which I absolutely understand, about the effectiveness of having tutors come in the classroom so late in the year and having time for the teachers and the tutors to build relationships before partnering together. So in hearing those concerns, we've decided to move solely to a summer program for the high impact tutoring grant. We would hire 12 teachers, 1 lead teacher, 2 physical education teachers, 2 musical art teachers, and then 12 tutors from Hey Tutor. So each classroom would have a teacher and a tutor for the students. And we would be able to have 6 third grade teachers and 6 fourth grade teachers. We wanted to include physical education and music or art because we think that that would help entice our students to attend the summer program. So while this adjustment means that we will not utilize the entire grant application, we will use the majority of the funds and we will create a robust and impactful summer program. Through a collaborative effort with our district and the police department, we are proud to say that there are communication boards installed in every township playground. We are very excited about that, and I want to commend Dr. Allegria and Ms. Ross, because that is amazing that we have those communication boards in every township playground. And to mark the collaborative event, Dr. Allegria and Ms. Ross and the special education teachers and some students visited a field on January 31st. And the communication board was unveiled at that time. So I just want to congratulate our special services team. And I think that's wonderful and a wonderful addition for our students. In addition, every police car in Voorhees has a communication board in their police cars, just in case they ever encounter a student who is nonverbal. So I think that's just amazing. And then my final announcement is that there will be a parent virtual workshop on Monday, March 18th at 7 o'clock. And Dr. Allegria and Ms. Ross will be spearheading that workshop, and it will be on inclusion. So for our parents, if you're interested in learning more about inclusion, Monday, March 18th, 7 o'clock, on our website, you'll find the Zoom link. Thank you, and that ends my report.
Thank you, Dr. Hackett. Okay, committee reports. Mr. Rosen is not here. Mr. Rosner, will you please provide the Finance Committee report and also update us on the meeting you recently attended?
You got it. We held a Finance Committee meeting on Tuesday, February 13th here at the Township Building. We discussed standard financial reports just to sort of acclimate everyone to what's going to happen during the budgeting process, and just items that are shown on the sort of board report every single meeting, which include the treasurer's report, the board secretary's reports, and the monthly transfer report. We also discussed investment options for cash that we have in some of our accounts so that we can make basically more interest on that money than what we are currently doing. So we're currently investigating that as well. And that was the content of that meeting. I also attended the NJSBA Camden County virtual meeting. That was on February 8th. There were several different topics discussed. I think it's sort of a standard agenda. They do a board of directors update, field service updates on like open positions and leadership programs. And then there was a government relations update highlighting new laws impacting schools and future laws being considered. But the focus of the session was on the NJSBA firearm task report. And sort of the gist was that being that gun-related injuries are the leading cause of death for kids, there was a discussion about teaching gun safety education in the schools and in the community at large through a community-based alliance, and where boards of education can help support those conversations. So that was the NJSBA Camden County meeting update.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks.
Rosner. Mrs. Stewart, will you please provide an update on the Policy Committee meeting?
Sure. The Policy Committee met for an hour earlier this evening. Dr. Hackett, Mr. Moskowitz, and board members Julie Kedover, Maureen Rudder, Julianne Verdi, and I were present. For first read, we discussed the following revised policies and regulations. Policy 0155, board committees, which was tabled and will return for first read. Policy 1140, educational equity policies, affirmative action. Policy 1523, comprehensive equity plan. Policy and Regulation 1530, equal employment opportunities and equal employment opportunity complaint procedure. Policy 1550, equal employment anti-discrimination practices. Regulation 2200, curriculum content, which will return for first read. Policy and Regulation 2260, equity in school and classroom practices, and equity in school and classroom practices complaint procedure. Policy 2411, guidance counseling. Policy 3211, code and ethics. Regulation 5440, honoring student achievement. That policy has also been tabled and will return for first read. And policy 5570, sportsmanship. For second read, we reviewed policy 0164, conduct of board meetings. And we also discussed a uniform procedure for handling meeting minutes for all board committees, policy 6700 investments, and proposed neighboring policy 0164.1 conduct of board members during public meetings, and 0164.2 request for information by board members. Thank you.
Thank you. Audience participation guidelines for agenda items only. Anyone wishing to address the board, please approach the side table on the right and write your name and address on the login sheet. While the board is limited in its ability to respond to the public on matters involving personnel, litigation, negotiations, and attorney-client privilege, the board will now hear comments from the public relating to items on the agenda for this board meeting. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. The board will not take action this evening. You will be notified at some later time by letter, electronic mail, telephone, or in the context of a later board meeting of any action the board does take.
Hi, I'm Shari Kaufman. I need to take this opportunity first to say how amazing the drama kids were. I'm a drama mama. My kids have been doing theater since they were 10 years old. They went through VMS, they went through Eastern High School, and my son is actually in a show in college now. It is a major part of both my kids' lives and who they are because of what was done. So I want to take this opportunity to ask you to fund the drama department. I have never had this opportunity with the kids singing. My kids never got to do this. The drama department is self-funded. The basketball team gets money to play and money to go on a bus. They get money for uniforms. The drama department has to.
I am so sorry. This is not an agenda topic. This.
Oh, they told me it was.
Yeah,
it's
I
not?
apologize. It's not at the agenda
Okay.
items.
I'll come back.
Okay.
Come back for the next section. Thank you. I believe you will. Thank you. Anybody else? Audience participation on agenda items. Okay. Moving on to board comments on agenda items. Can I get a motion to approve all items under policy?
So moved.
Second.
Online voting is open. Six yeses, 2 abstentions, 1 by Mr. Bryce and 1 by Mrs. Stubler. Motion carries.
Can I get a motion to approve all items under curriculum?
So moved.
Second.
Online voting is open. Seven yeses, 1 abstention by Mr. Bryce. Motion carries.
Can I please have a motion to approve all items under personnel?
So moved.
Second.
Online voting is open. Seven yeses, 1 abstention by Mr. Bryce. Motion carries.
Can I get a motion to approve all items under transportation?
So moved.
Second.
Online voting is open. Seven yeses, 1 abstention by Mr. Bryce. Motion carries.
Can Can I get a motion to approve all items under buildings and grounds?
So moved.
Thanks. Second.
Online voting is open. Seven yeses, one abstention by Mr. Bryce. Motion carries.
Moving right along, can I get a motion to approve all items under finance?
I'm not sure when the appropriate time to ask for this. I just want to be able to explain my vote.
There's usually, there can be
Discussion,
items, so
correct.
we can-
Yeah, discussion, correct.
Second, ask for comments and then vote.
Okay. So can I get the motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Verdi,
Discuss, yeah, comments. Yes, so I just wanted to comment on the award of the contract for a high impact tutoring program. First, I want to thank Superintendent Hackett for listening to the concerns of the community and our faculty on this issue. And I think I really appreciate the fact that you were able to be nimble and adjust accordingly. And so I just wanted to say that that is why I will be voting yes on this because of the ability to listen to the community. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Online voting is open. We have six yeses, two abstentions, one by Mr. Bryce and one by Mrs. Stupler. Motion carries.
Public comment for any school or school district matter. Anyone wishing to address the board, please approach the side table on the right and write your name and address on the login sheet. While the board is limited in its ability to respond to the public on matters involving personnel, litigation, negotiations, and attorney-client privilege, the board will now hear comments from the public. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. The board will not take action this evening. You will be notified at some later time by letter, electronic mail, telephone, or in the context of a later board meeting of any action the board does take.
So hi, in case you didn't know, my name's Sherry Kaufman, and I'm a drama mama. But seriously, unless things have changed, 10% of the middle school is involved in drama, whether it be behind the stage or on the stage. And like I started saying before, all of sports are funded. They get buses, they get uniforms. Our children have to work. They have fundraisers. The tickets that are sold are turned around and put back into the show. And the people that are doing the jobs that they're doing are not getting paid what is equivalent to what the coaches are being paid. They start in October, they end at the end of March. They spend countless hours. And what they give the children is you just can't get that from anything else that they do. My daughter presented at a national neuroscience conference this year, and I know that part of the reason she did that with confidence is because she was taught on the stages of this school district as well as Eastern High School. So I know over the years with different boards, people have come up and said stuff I've never had the opportunity to, but I'd really like you to consider looking at the funding that drama gets and comparing it to all the other events and sports and clubs that happen at the middle school and see the difference in the funding and what they do versus what the other things do. And look, sports are very important and there are kids that learn so much from sports, but I just would like you to take the time to do that, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public? Okay. Board comments.
Yes. All right. I'm going to try to get through this and not get emotional. I'm also not feeling my best tonight, so please be mindful of that as I stumble over words. I want to take a moment to honor and speak the name of Nex Benedict, a 16-year-old non-binary student who used they, them pronouns, who died this month after being bullied and attacked in a girls' bathroom in their Oklahoma school. While we don't yet know the exact circumstances of Nex's death, we do know that they were regularly subjected to transphobic words. Why am I bringing this up? This happened in Oklahoma, not Voorhees. I'm bringing it up because unfortunately hate has no geographic boundaries, and we need to be vigilant so that this never happens here. As the first openly and now thankfully not only LGBTQ person elected to this board, I have received my share of hateful, homophobic, and transphobic rhetoric thrown at me from a vocal minority of members of this community. I want this community to know that those words have consequences. Our children are listening. No one is born hateful. Hate is learned, and hateful words are the first step towards making children like Nex unsafe. I applaud this district for its inclusive policies, including a parent workshop last year on gender identity. Because if we want to protect children, we must protect all children, including trans, non-binary, and two-spirit children. What happened to Nex cannot be allowed to happen to another child. Again, their name was Nex Benedict. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Verdi. Any other board comments? Okay, we are not going into executive session. The next board meeting will be a regular meeting on Wednesday, March 13th, 2024 at 7 p.m. in this building. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I do the gavel?